What's going on, world? It's Mr. Harris, Mr. Make Math Cool again, and I've got some more good stuff for you. Today we're going to be talking about logarithms, and I'm going to show you how to change from logarithmic form to exponential form. It's going to be very, very simple, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So when we talk about logarithms, we have something that looks like this. We have log, and I'm going to use base A of, let's say, B equals C. So we read that as the log base A of B equals C. Now you might also see this in a different form, but if we want to change this log from logarithmic form to exponent form, then we need to take this base. So this is going to be our base, A, and then it's going to be to the C power equals B. Okay? So this is our base, so boom, that's the base. That's going to be your exponent, and that is going to be what it's equal to. All right, so let's get a couple of examples of that. All right, so keep this in mind. One thing we want to look at is the first example. Let's say we have log base 4 of 64 equals 3, or as I like to say, tree. We want to just write this in exponent form. So our base is 4, so I have 4 to the 3 power, and that equals 64. And now if we do the math, 4 times 4 times 4 is definitely going to equal 64. So we're just showing you how to change from logarithmic form to exponent form. Fair enough? Let's move on to the next example. So we'll get rid of this one right here. The next example we want to look at, let's say we have log base tree of 81. And we want to make that equal 4, okay? So if I want to change this to exponent form, then I simply am going to take this base of 3, or tree, and to the 4th power, and it equals 81, okay? So it's a very simple process. Our base is this small number here. Our exponent is the number on the right side of the equal sign. And you can flip that, so we can't put the 4 on the other side. Let's go to another example. Let's say we have something like this. Let's say we have log base, okay, let's get on this side. Let's say I have log base 5 of 125, okay? And so that, sometimes you may see it like this, to where they don't put the equal sign, okay? And you might have the directions to evaluate this logarithm. Well, if I have this type of problem without the equal sign, then you can just add the equal sign, okay? So I simply say, if I want to write this in exponent form, I still have the same base 5. Now, since it doesn't have the equal sign there, we can go ahead and put a variable for our exponent. So 5 to the x power equals 125, okay? Now, 5 to the 3rd power equals 125, so x in this case is simply going to equal 3. We can do the math. If we do 5 times 5 times 5, it is going to give us 125, all right? Let's do one more example. Make sure you got this down packed. We'll do another example without the equal sign. Okay, so let's do one more example without the equal sign. Let's say I have log of 81, log base 81 of 9. I apologize for the glare there, but log base 81 of 9. Notice my base is smaller than this typical number right here. So what I'm going to redo this as for exponent form is say 81 to the x power equals 9. And now we notice that if I go from a large base to a small answer, then my exponent has to be a fraction. So this is actually the square root of 81 equals 9. So I know x equals 1/2. And to prove that, if we simply take the square root of 81, we will get 9. Or if we take 81 to the 1/2 power, we will get 9. And just in case, let's do one more like that with a a different type. So let's say if I have log base 7 of 1 over 49. Okay, this is kind of different. So what we would do with this one is, we know when we write in exponent, if I have an exponent, so I'm going to put this 7 to the x power, because it doesn't have the equal sign, so we don't know what exponent equals 1 over 49. Well, according to our rules of exponents, if I have a negative exponent, then I can rewrite that using positive exponents by making it a fraction with the 1 in the numerator. So this is actually x is equal to negative 2. Okay, so the 1 over 49 is 1 over 7 to the second power. Okay, so that's the basics on changing from logarithmic form to exponent form. Dana Harris, and I've got the solution to your math problems. Young Guru's Math Tutor.